What's up, North County? You tuned into the Backstage Pass. Tonight, my guest is Mr. Steve Hilstein. Steve,
Hey,
how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, man.
Thank
Great
you
to
so
be
much
here.
for coming in. Appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
Man, you have a very colorful history, like as far as all the stuff that you've done.
You think so, huh?
Yeah, you know,
All right.
I mean, from the beginning and all the, you're basically, stop me if I'm wrong, professional drummer.
Stop. No, yeah.
Professional drummer, engineer, producer, business entrepreneur, and a music educator.
Yeah.
And family man.
And probably a few
Husband.
more things.
Yeah,
piled
probably a few
in
more
there.
things I don't know about, right?
Yeah.
But right there, that's impressive enough. All the things that I've just mentioned right there. I mean, to be a professional drummer, that's not an easy feat. You know, it's one of those things. Not everybody gets to do it.
You know, my whole life has been, since I was very young, surrounded by drums and led by drums and drumming and music.
Right.
When I was really young, my dad used to play a lot of music around the house. My parents were dancers. They did ballroom dancing, and my dad loved all kinds of music. He listened to a lot of old stuff, you know, like Benny Goodman and Glenn Miller, but he also liked the Beatles, and he listened to Creedence Clearwater, you know.
Okay.
So we had a lot of music going around in the house, and I remember at an early age, I made a set of, I think I was probably 9 years old, and I made a set of drums out of cardboard boxes, like the Quaker Oats boxes that were around.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
And I made little cymbals out of pie tins, and I played rock around the clock for my fourth grade class.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was inspired by that song. You know, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock.
Yeah, right.
And so that song is near and dear to me. I still have the original 45 that my dad had and played, but that's kind of what got me going. And then I started kind of bugging my parents for drum lessons. And by the time I was 10, I started in drum lessons. My dad rented me an old Ludwig snare drum, and then I turned 11, and he bought me my own Ludwig acrylite snare drum for my birthday.
So it was yours. He wasn't no longer renting it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And it went from there. And my younger brother played a little guitar. The kid down the street, my dear friend Bob, my lifelong friend Bob Holmes, who I still keep in touch with, and I was just in a band in the last few years with. Mm-hmm. He lived down the street and sang and played guitar, and we just started a band early on.
Now, when you said you started around 10, was that when your influences came, or when did your like drumming influence, people that you really like looked up to as drummers?
You mean as I kind of matured as a drummer? Well, you know, I was inspired. I remember having the Doors, a Doors record album,
Right.
Waiting for the Sun. And I used to play to that. I really dug Blood, Sweat, and Tears, their first album, with Spinning Wheels and You
Right.
Made Me So Very
Round
Happy.
and round.
And Bobby Colomby was the drummer for that band, a brilliant drummer. And I used to try to play like him and try to cop that solo he does and variations of the theme, and it really inspired me. And I would just sit in my room. Well, at that time I was 12. I got a drum set for my birthday when I was 12. So my parents realized I was really serious about it.
Right. Right.
And I've got to thank them.
And they were cool. They were cool about that. They were like
yeah.
supportive.
My mom was especially, you know, looking back, I mean, it must have been nerve-wracking. I'm in my room in the middle of our small house in East Whittier, where I grew up. And technically, I never really grew up. I became a drummer instead. No, but that's where I was raised. And she'd let me go, you know, all afternoon, I guess. And yeah, it was great. It was really cool.
That's awesome. So, other than those, did you have like any like said drummer that you looked up to as far as like that's the drummer I aspire to be?
Maybe not so much at that time. I was just more about the music. I hadn't really studied drummer so much. I mean, the Beatles inspired me.
Right.
So, probably Ringo.
Ringo.
Yeah, at that time, Ringo wasn't really known for being a great drummer.
Right.
For whatever reason. I don't know why.
I thought he was
guess
a good drummer.
He's one of my favorite drummers. In
Yeah.
fact,
Tasty.
what's that?
Tasty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and he's one of the most difficult drummers to duplicate. And I think the reason is because he's actually a left-handed drummer,
Right.
but he plays a right-handed set.
Really?
So yeah, and
Trippy.
so his fills are his
So
fills.
is he playing open?
Yeah, I think so. I think he played match grip, I believe, but I think he played both.
But not crossed, right? Just more.
Well, he would play like this. He would play like a right-handed drummer, but he would lead when he would do fills. He would lead with his left hand.
Oh, trippy.
And so, fast forward, I'm in a like a '70s tribute band, that Garden Party, that plays all around the county
Right.
and wineries and community concerts here in Templeton and Paso and all that. And so our whole thing is to duplicate the original versions of the songs. And when I get to a Ringo song or a Beatles song where Ringo's playing the drums, those are the hardest songs for me to try to figure out, like, what is he doing? Because it's just so unnatural for a right-handed player to do it because he's leading with his left hand. That's my theory. Plus, the guy's just brilliant. He just knows how to play the right stuff for the Beatles.
Yeah, I think that whole band at that time, there was just some, how certain bands have certain chemistry.
Yeah.
There's a chemistry. Some bands.
Oh, amazing.
Some
yeah.
bands have amazing chemistry. Some bands are just bands, and then some bands you just go, wow, that the chemistry in that band is it's like amazing. And I think that they were one of those bands.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And what they did and just the way they blended and all of that. Yeah. I mean,
What is your favorite kind of kit to play, like as far as brand and model and type?
I've had a number of different types of kits over the years. I'm partial to Ludwig because that was the first set that
Right.
first professional set that I bought. I bought a three-piece Ludwig set. It was used at Guitar Center, the original Guitar Center on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, and I paid $125 for it. It's worth, $2,000 now probably.
Do you still have it?
No, I don't have the original one.
I was gonna say.
But that was actually sold to one of my drum circuit customers. But I have one that's just like it. It's a different color now. But I'm really into the old vintage Ludwig stuff. I love that, and I really like I really like Gretsch. I've got some old Gretsch. I really like the older stuff. The old Gretsch.
So do
drums.
you have like a collection of kits?
Yeah.
Do you?
You might say that.
Nice.
Yeah, having a drum shop, the drum circuit for 20 years, I accumulated a few things along the way.
It was when Howard had the shop, but I was looking for a kit, and I talked to Brian. And I think Brian was working there, doing something there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
And-
was working with Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just so our audience knows, I opened the drum circuit in 1988.
Right.
And I had it for 20 years. And Howard worked for me. In fact, I met Howard when he was like 16 years old.
Really?
Yeah, I've known him a long time. And he'd come into the shop. He started playing drums, and he'd come into the shop. And I just always liked him. He was just really
Super nice guy.
nice
Yeah.
guy, a nice kid,
Yeah.
And then he worked for me for 13 years, and I decided it was time for a change for me, and I decided I was going to put the drum circuit up for sale, and before I offered it to this guy who was interested, I offered it to Howard, and he was able to work it out, and he
Good for him.
He basically bought it from me, yeah. And
I loved it.
It was nice to see it stay in the family. so
I
to speak.
was able to I bought stuff intermittently through there, but I bought my second kit from there, from Howard. It was.
What'd you get?
I got the Yamaha Stage Custom. It
Oh,
was,
yeah.
It was
Great.
like a forest green, beautiful little kit, and then I added accoutrements to it over the years. Probably had it for 3 or 4 years, and then just before my transplant, I was just kind of rough on money, and I sold to a friend of mine in hopes he would sell it back to me. And then when I got out of the hospital, I was like, hey, can I get my kit back? And he was like, oh, I sold it. I was
Oh,
like,
man.
ah. So yeah, and out of all the kits I've had, that was my second, and I've owned 3 kits in my life. And
What did you have? What were you playing?
I don't have one now. I had
No, I mean, what were the kits you had?
the first one I had was it a Tama? Does Tama make the Rockstar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tama
so-
Rockstar. Good
So
set.
it was a Tama Rockstar.
By the
double.
way, this portion is just for drummers only.
Yeah. It was a Tama Rockstar double kit,
Yeah.
a double bass,
Yeah.
and it just had the
Yeah, you're a rocker, man.
two toms, floor tom, and what happened was my girlfriend at the time, her son was going into the Marines, and I would go to her house and hang out, and I would take a guitar and him and I would jam, and then one day we were talking about him going to the Marines, and he said, hey, you play the drums? And I said, yeah, and he goes, all my friends want me to sell them, and he was young, he was like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
He's like, all my friends want me to sell them, and the drum set was beautiful. It was like the burgundy with all the black
Oh, yeah.
chrome. or
Yeah, I
black-
remember those.
Yeah.
So
So
that
he
was a great
said,
line. That was a really good line of drums.
yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
So he said, all my friends want me to sell them their drum set, but if I sell it to my buddy Tommy, he's just gonna trash it. He said, but if I sold it to you, he goes, I know you would take care of it
Yeah.
and possibly sell it
Get
back
it back,
to me.
yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'll buy it from you, and I will definitely sell it back to you. So 4 years later, I bought an extra tom, and I bought a bunch of different, like some extra cymbals
Yeah.
and all that, and I made it a nicer kit than it was. Gave it more stuff, and he showed up at my door like 4 years later, like, hey,
Wow.
and I was like, yeah, you're here. And he handed me the exact same amount of money. He said, do you want more money for the stuff that you, and I said, no.
Yeah.
I said, that's my gift to you for serving our country, which I thought was super cool of him.
Yeah.
And
That's funny because I did a similar thing, part of my Ludwig set, because I've got like 2 different size bass drums, and I want to. Times got kind of tough during a time, and I
happens to
started selling
musicians.
stuff to make payroll,
Right.
and so I wound up selling part of my Ludwig set, and I told the guy, I said, if you ever sell this, give me first dibs at it. Sure enough, a few years later, he called me back. He was running a recording studio. He was using it there. Anyway, I bought it back from him for the same price.
See, that's sweet.
So I still have that now.
Yeah, so you people out there that are buying gear and promising that you're going to sell it back to the person that you bought it from,
Yeah.
call those people up and ask them so they don't miss out.
Keep your
'cause-
promise.
Yeah, keep your promise.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wish I still had that drum set. And then I went down to, I think it was almost right when, no, it was before I went in for transplant. And I went down to the Guitar Center
Oh.
and yeah, horrible,
That's like a swear word.
bad idea. Well, drum circuit was already closed.
Oh,
So
okay.
in
Fair
my
enough.
in my defense.
Fair enough. Okay.
In my
good,
defense.
Good. Yeah, because I was
And,
gonna have to come over there and punch you.
the
I hate to do that. you
The
know.
Guitar Center. Oh no, I would never do that if drum circuit was open.
Okay.
So
It's okay, man.
I went down there, and I bought a what was it, the Pearl Vision,
Oh, okay.
a Pearl Vision
Yeah.
kit. I loved the kit, but it was just really big. It was a big kit.
Yeah.
Like Brian Monzel, who I love.
Yeah.
Total bro. He got me got me into liking small kits.
Yeah.
Like there's something about a kid, and David Chalk as well.
Oh yeah.
Like David Chalk came over and set up my my Yamaha for me right after I bought it. I called him up and said, "Hey, could you come over to help me set up my kit?" Because I had been to his studio and did some recording in there.
Yeah.
And I sat down on his kit, and I was like, "This is exactly the way I want my kit."
Yeah,
So
the older I get, the smaller my drum set gets.
Yeah,
when I was younger, I used to have, the 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, giant
Yep.
kick drum and
And then
racks and cymbals, and now I'm like a 4-piece set.
and then you became a working musician.
Yeah, and old and tired.
Yeah, I know, totally. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We got Steve Hilstein in the studio. Stick around.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hey, what's up, North County? We got Mr. Steve Hilstein in the studio this evening. Started playing drums when he was 10 years old. So what was your very first band? That was the
first official band.
Mod Mob? Was that it?
Well, keep in mind, we were all about, I may have been the oldest in the band. I was 12 years old. And it was the neighbor kids, the kid up the street.
Right.
His name was Mike McCool. He passed away a few years back.
Bummer.
Played guitar, and then my friend, as I mentioned, Bob Holmes down the street, kid around the corner, Lyle Morin, he played the tambourine, and my brother played guitar. And we were doing Monkey songs and some Beatles songs, some Stones. I don't remember all of it. I do remember we played Incense Peppermints because it had a really cool hi-hat thing. It went, doo, 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 shh, shh. And that was like my first major lick that I learned.
Right.
And then it kind of went from there. After that, it was, I think we renamed ourselves, that we matured a little bit. The year, maybe 6 months later, we were called a Raisin Band. And then it was, when I got into high school, we had a band called Implied Consent.
Now, when you started this first band, where did you guys rehearse? Did you guys have a set rehearsal spot, or?
Yeah, well, it kind of started out probably in my garage, somebody's garage. I'm not sure if I can remember that far back, but as I mentioned, my friend Bob Holmes, he lived down the street, and his parents built him they converted their garage into a studio, which was really cool. And so that's where we rehearsed.
So it was this specifically a place for him to play?
Yeah, it was.
Really?
That's what it was designed for. They recognized his talent early on.
So he was pretty talented?
Huh?
He was pretty talented?
Yeah, still is. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's into a lot of.
So
cool,
they
really
they
cool
like
creative stuff.
they'd soundproof it and all that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I've never got a complaint from the neighbors.
I think when parents are supportive, that's where musicians escalate. They advance quicker.
Definitely.
And they have that backing.
Yeah.
My parents never. They bought me my first drum set and then quickly took it away. They were like, "Oh, we're not."
I've had a number of, I've talked to a number of people who talk about their kids wanting to play an instrument, And once in a while, I'll hear somebody say, he wants to play the drums, but I really don't want him to do that. Or I hope he doesn't play the drums. And I'm thinking, let the kid do what he wants.
Right.
Because, I believe that God puts a desire in our hearts.
I think so too.
And that's what we need to become. He gives us a direction.
Yeah,
and a passion. And I've always believed, I'm getting a little philosophical here.
No, that's all right.
I've always believed that we're meant to do what we love to do for a living. Like if you're just going to go to college and try to get a job that pays a lot because, that's what your parents are telling you or society's telling you or whatever, I don't think that gets it. I think you need to do. I've always felt it in my heart to do what I was really driven to do.
Right.
And so even in my career when I was working, there was it's hard work being in business.
Right.
Especially in certain places in this county, and but that passion is what would drive me to play in bands, to open up a drum shop. I didn't know what I was doing. I started the drum shop in 1988, as I mentioned, on February 2nd.
Right.
Groundhog Day. And I started it with a $50 investment.
Really?
Yeah, I was given drum lessons early on. I wanted to get my students' books and that sort of thing, because that way I'd have them right there for them. They wouldn't have to go to the local store and wait for them to order it. And so I got a resale license. I didn't know what I
Did
was
you
doing.
start it out of your house, or where did you start?
No,
it?
I had a little studio that I was renting for $25 a month on this vacant lot thing. It's where the soccer field is now in San Luis Obispo. But I started with a $50 investment, and I bought a few books, and I realized, I'm making a little bit of a profit. So I had my resale license. I started buying accessories like drumsticks, drum heads, little trinkets, cymbal things and whatever. And within 6 months, I kind of had this awakening where I was wondering what I should do with my life. At that point, I had a daughter who was about 3 years old. I'm thinking, wow, I'm making a living giving drum lessons and playing in bands. And maybe, wow, I've got a daughter now. Maybe I should get a real job,
Right.
And I felt the Lord speak to me. And he said, Steve, keep doing what you're doing. I heard it was a crazy spiritual experience.
That's awesome, though.
I don't
That's
share
awesome.
that with very many people. I guess I am now.
No, that's awesome.
And within 6 months, I opened up the drum circuit. It just all fell into place.
Now, was it at that location, or was it a different
No,
location?
the original location was just up the street from there. It was about a block up on the corner of Bouchon and Archer. I think there's a spin place there now.
Oh,
I
okay.
could be wrong. And at the time, it was a place, it was a print shop called the Printers. And they had a little place in the back there. It was about the size of a small garage. It was like 200 square feet.
Right.
And I rented it. I remember it was $225 a month. This was 1988. $225 a month,
Wow.
including utilities.
Wow.
And I'm just like this poor drummer. I'm thinking, man, I hope I can afford to do this, And it kind of grew from there. Within the first year, I took over more of the building, and that was the first location. I was there for 9 years on the corner of Bouchon and Archer. And then I noticed that where the drum circuit wound up
Right.
on Mid-Higuera,
Right.
that it became available, and I found out where the owner lived. He was right up the street. And anyway, one thing led to another, and we wound up moving in there.
Yeah, and that was a good location for you, too.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, it was like kind of right there, right in the middle of Higuera, kind of.
Yeah.
And easy to get to, easy parking. Yeah, it was a good spot, really
And
good spot.
pretty much everybody in town knew it was there. 'Cause
Oh, yeah, you
everybody would drive by there.
Yeah, you couldn't miss it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just, like I said, God just took care of it and put me in the right places at the right time.
Yeah, it's,
At the time, I didn't think that so much, but looking back at my life, I realized that dedicating my life to the Lord, and he just kind of just guided me through it.
Well,
of course,
they
I
say
screwed
that's
things
what
up.
happens when
I
you-
made some big mistakes along the way.
They say that's what happens when you do that.
I
that
believe so. Yeah.
things start happening for you, and which is a beautiful thing. You know, I know I owe everything that I have so far. I owe to the Lord, and it's
Amen.
crazy because your story, you know, and the way you've done everything with your business and all that reminds me of. Do you know Ed Frawley?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same kind of thing.
When
huh?
when I was a kid, 14, 15, his dad had a watch and clock shop in Cayucas. And when you walked in, it was the whole shop, but to the left, he just had one of those glass countertop shelf things.
Oh yeah.
And then he had that, and then in the wall behind him, he had some guitars and stuff, and he had guitar straps and picks and strings and all that, and that's where he started. And then, like you, just dum 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 dum, and
Yeah.
boom. You know?
Yeah, I didn't know all those details, but I know he started small and built
Yeah,
it up.
super small.
And Ed's a great guy.
Super great guy, and
Ed Frawley.
Central
Coast Music.
Yep, amazing. Ed Crawley. And
And
you know what
and
amazed
Morro
me?
Bay.
And Morro Bay, right? They're right there.
Is that okay? Give
yeah,
him a
heck
plug?
yeah.
All right.
Ed Frawley, we got you, buddy.
Yeah.
Um,
You're the man.
Your ability, and I guess I could say Howard's too, but mainly yours, to pack the amount of material and product into that building that you did. Like, I had been in there many, many times, and I just would be at awe, like every nook and cranny.
We called it the wow factor.
Yeah, it was.
You'd walk in and people would walk in, they just go, whoa.
Yeah.
And people would say, how do you make a living doing this in this town like this? You know, and I go, I don't know. It just, sometimes it was a little tight.
You know, I think what's
but
sad
it worked
is that
out, you know,
I don't know.
in the long run.
I don't know why Howard gave it up or whatever, but it's sad to me.
Well, I don't want to speak for him, but he lost his lease, and and he would have had to find another place, and I don't know all the details, but
See, I think it's sad because what's there now isn't as worthy or needed as much as the drum circuit.
yeah, I'd have to agree with you there.
You
A lot
know,
of people miss the drum shop,
I-
including me.
I'm not even.
I used to go there too after I sold it
I'm
to
not
Hal.
even really a real drummer. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I can play the drums, but I'm not a drummer. I don't get paid to play the drums.
It doesn't matter as long as you love it and enjoy it. you
But
know?
I loved just going in there, going
Yeah.
in there and seeing if there was something in there that I wanted.
Yeah.
Like, what can I add on to my kit today?
Yeah.
You know, because I'm one of those guys, like, I do add on to my kit because it isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm not packing it up and taking it Friday
Yeah.
night to go gig.
Yeah.
So if I can add on all the little accoutrements, yeah, I'm going to do that.
Yeah, can you imagine a drummer owning a drum shop? I mean, for me, it was like just like a fantasy come true. You know, when we'd close up, I'd be sorting things out and putting up displays, and man, I'd be looking at all this cool gear, and it's like, oh yeah, I think I need that. And the price was right, you know.
Yeah.
But
My wife's going to kill me, but it's okay.
it's funny. I have a drum studio at home, and I hate to admit it, but it kind of looks like I probably have more drums in there than I did when I first started.
Really?
Yeah, I love drums, and I just and I tell my wife it's a good investment, because they hold their value.
Yeah.
And she's great. She goes along with it. But I love snare drums because they don't take up much space, and
Right.
and they have some value. And I love cymbals, and I have a lot of the fixtures that I used to have when I had the drum shop. And yeah, everything's hung up and organized. I still have the very first front counter
Oh, really?
in my studio
Oh, how cool.
that I just use to store things. And
Right.
yeah, it's my little drum haven, and I love it. That's my passion, and that's where I rehearse and practice with all the bands I'm with and so forth.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed.
I had when I was in Mean Gene Band, which technically I'm still in Mean Gene Band.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah, it's been it's since 2010, so it's been a long ride.
Wow.
And he's
Legendary.
he's given me so much musically, but I can remember quite a few times after shows.
Gene Baker.
Yeah, after shows at Harry's
Yeah.
or wherever. Usually Brian and I would carpool together.
Yeah.
So I'd throw all his gear in my truck, and then I'd be rolling him home. We'd be like, "Hey, want to go to that shop and play the drums?" And we would go into this room, and I guess it was a teaching room, and it had two kits facing one another.
Uh-huh.
And we would just sit in there.
Oh, yeah.
And just he taught me a lot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he'd just sit across from me and say, "Do this."
Yeah.
And then he'd do it, and then I'd have to, replicate whatever he was doing. And I thought that was really fun. And
Yeah.
I spent quite a few nights there with him after hours hanging out and playing the drums.
All right.
He's a fun guy. Good teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, very good drummer.
Hey, we're gonna take a quick break. We will be right back. What's up, North County?
When it comes to comfort, trust the team that's been keeping the North County homes cozy since 1995. At Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning, they're your hometown pros right here in Templeton. From tune-ups to repairs, remodels to new construction, even duct replacements and attic ventilation, they got you covered. Call your neighbors at 805-434-3741. Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning. Local, trusted, dependable.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
All right, you got it. Hey, what's up, North County? Caught me slipping. We're here with Mr. Steve Hilstein. He is or I should say was the owner proprietor of the drum circuit in San Luis Obispo. Probably the most sought after drum shop in all of San Luis Obispo County. One of my favorite places to go to, I gotta say. Like just
It was a good one.
great place to go,
Yeah.
check out all the gear and stuff like that. And it's a shame that San Luis Obispo doesn't have a place like that still.
Yeah, we all miss it.
Yeah. So so back to your bands. 18, it was you went on the road with your band Impact.
Impulse.
Impulse. Oh,
Yes.
Impulse.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I got the name wrong for when I told you earlier.
Oh, okay. So
No,
well,
when I
that's
said
all right.
that, I said, no, that's not right. Yes.
And how was that like for you at 18?
Well,
Now, were you real quick?
Yeah.
Were you still home with your parents?
no, I was, let's see, I'm trying to remember. That's a long time ago, man. Actually, you know what? I think I was.
Yeah.
I was.
And what did they think about that? Were they cool with it, or?
Yeah, I think so. They were probably glad to get rid of me at that point. But I mean, I wasn't really thinking about that so much. I just was, I was just determined, and I was on a mission.
So they believed in you, though.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was 18, so. But right out of high school, I went to a year of college. I was working in a print shop, and I thought maybe that's what I would do. And one of the guys in the band I was with at that time, he hooked up with somehow got the name of this management company in Studio City. They were called Centaur Artists, and they would put bands together, and then they would manage the bands, and they would go through different agents, and they would put them all over the country and different places. And so we were already a band, and we were all like 18 and 19 years old, right out of high school practically.
Right.
And we approached them and auditioned for them, and they normally didn't put bands together that were already formed. They would, they would bring in different players and make these bands. But they thought we were cute because we were young and we were already a band. So they invested time in us and they trained us like how to behave, how to perform, how to be professional. And so we all had these outfits and stuff we wore.
Really?
Jumpsuits and stuff. Yeah, this was the 70s and early 70s. And they put us on the road. First gig we had was in the summer of 74. We played at Smuggler's Inn in Colorado Springs. From there we went to Tucson, Arizona, El Paso, Texas, and then South Texas, and then a couple other places, and we were on the road for 6 months.
Now, did you guys have like chaperones or handlers, people to keep an eye?
No,
So-
we were a bunch of immature kids.
So were there some pretty crazy times?
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was like you go to places back then, they advertised us to being from Hollywood, California.
Right.
And so we felt pretty special when we got to a small town in Texas. They thought we were pretty cool. And so it was fun. We just had a good time and played music, learned a lot about life. And 6 months later, the band kind of split up. And then I hooked up with another band through Centaur Artists called Midnight Special.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, and they had a gig that was lined up at the St. Francis Hotel in
This is
San
San Francisco,
Francisco,
right? Yeah, you
on
mentioned
the
that.
top floor, on the 32nd floor. It was
Okay.
called the Penthouse, and we did that gig. It was a 3-month gig, and they extended it, so we were there for 6 months, and it was
Oh, so you did kind of like a residency there.
pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
It was
nice.
5 nights a week,
Sweet.
and I had a ball. I'm 19 years old.
Now back then, what did something like that pay? Did that pay like individually or as a band, or do you remember?
Well-
or that probably went to your company and then your company paid you,
Yeah,
right?
I remember we were paying our management company 20%, because 10%, at that point, it was 10% to the management company, 10% to the agent.
Right.
And so it was 20% off the top. But I think at 19 years old, I was making 300, I want to say I was making $320 a week.
That's pretty good back then.
Back then, it was really good
Yeah, for being a musician.
money. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was really fun. And then from there, we went to Detroit. That band lasted about a year. At that age, I was, you get restless and you want to do other things, or the band splits, somebody leaves, and then you're back to square one. And then the next band came along, and the next band. And then I formed a band later on, and we went on the road. It was called Big City. And we did a lot of the same kind of places: Shreveport, Arizona, Corpus Christi, Texas, some really cool places. And then when we were in a place in Louisiana, Lake Charles, Louisiana, we ran into this other group who was there. And a lot of times the other groups get together and hang out. And they were from Nashville. And this guy's name was Billy Troy, and it was his band there. And he was in need of a drummer, a girl singer, female vocalist, and a keyboard player. Well, we had all that. So he offered us the opportunity to go back to Nashville with him. And he had a house gig at a place on Printers Alley. This is 1978 by then. And it was called the Possum Holler.
Really?
It was owned, it was started by George Jones.
Oh,
the
okay.
Country music
No
legend.
Show Jones, baby.
Right, that's
Yeah,
the guy.
yeah.
And I got to meet him. Well, anyway, so we joined the band, and we were the house band at the Possum Holler 5 nights a week, and we would do shows, and it was like tours that would come in and stuff. And on the weekends, we were the backup band for Boxcar Willie
Oh, nice.
and Ronnie Stoneman, who was on Hee Haw. And Nashville was a really tight-knit community. Everybody kind of knew each other, all the musicians, and they were just like neighbors and friends. And these are like legends and names that people know now. And I didn't know that much about country music back then, but I had the ability just to listen and learn and play.
Right.
And I learned a lot about country music. And different people would come in. Ray Sawyer from Dr. Hook, he'd come in and sit in. I remember Jim Stafford came by one night. I got to meet Hoyt Axton's mom, Mae Axton, who was noted for writing Heartbreak Hotel for Elvis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was a really cool opportunity to meet all these really, really neat people. One of the guys in the band was Gene O'Neill, who was the steel guitar player for, man, I can't remember the guy's name right offhand, but it'll come to me. But anyway, it was really fun, and then afterwards, when we would get done playing, I think at 11:30 or something, sometimes we'd do these late night recording sessions where they'd bring in some artists and they'd pay the band to back them up. We'd learn the song on the spot, and we'd do it like an all-night session, and we'd get done with the session, leave, and the sun was coming up, man. We'd be up all night back then, you know.
Now, for a session like that, they pay you pretty well for that?
No. Well,
No?
back then, I guess it was okay. I think I made $50 a session.
See, that's crazy.
It
'cause
wasn't that great, but I mean, it was okay.
I did some light session work through a studio in Staten Island, New York.
Oh,
And I was just singing backups for this girl.
yeah.
And I made like $50 a session
Yeah.
for, and that stuff never went anywhere, but
Yeah.
I never got even a chance to hear the finished product.
Yeah, ours
But-
didn't either. Once in a while, we get a little radio play. I've still got 45s that when it would go to print, they'd give us a 45 or something.
But for me, I thought it was weird because I thought there was more to it.
Yeah.
Like I just went into the studio and was chatting with the engineer, and there was a producer there with him, and they were talking, and the guy was saying, "Oh, we're looking for a male backing vocalist," and the guy said, "Hey, you're a male backing vocalist," and I said, "Yeah," and then they let me listen to some stuff, and I was like, "Yeah, I could sing to that." So then they brought the girl in, and she did some tracks, and then I didn't actually get a chance to sing with her, but I did like one song backup, like you just went to another room and studied it real quick, and then was like, okay, I got
Yeah, you
this.
just kind of learn it on the
And
spot.
went in and did it, and I saw her through the booth, and they were like, "What do you think?" She's like, "Yeah, it's good," and then she left, and then I just did my tracks,
Yeah.
and then it seemed like I did 3 nights, and every night she did her tracks first, and then I would come in and do my tracks.
The
after.
recording process is fascinating, and I remember I was always drawn to that, and I thought, man, that was so cool. And I thought I could do that, and then when I moved up here, I got to I was kind of one of the house drummers for Sutton Sound.
Oh, yeah.
Rick Sutton in
Yeah.
in Atascadero.
Right.
And he had a great
I've been to that
recording
stu-
studio.
I've been to that studio.
Yeah,
The
most
little
of the
house,
musicians
kinda
around.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he retired a few years back, and but I remember doing that there, and it was just so cool to be in the recording studio. But most people don't realize how songs are recorded. How they're recorded like just the basic tracks, and then you come in, overdub and
Right.
add some guitar and vocals and build it up from there.
Yeah, and it's like for me when I was doing it, I thought there was so much more to it.
Yeah.
When really there was, when I was done, it was like, okay, here's $50.
Yeah.
It wasn't like there was some contract. At least for me
Oh,
in that
yeah.
situation, it was just like, and like I said, who knows? They might have just been like, scratch those tracks, and we're not using that guy. I don't know. But yeah, I've been to Sutton Sound with Brian McLaughlin.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
When he recorded there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
He-
where I first met you.
Yeah.
We don't have to tell that story though.
Oh yeah.
About
well,
that time when you were
doing
a job at my
I'll tell you.
remodel.
We'll tell you the story real quick. So, I'm a plumber, and I'm maybe 25, 26 at the most, maybe, I don't know. So I'm with a grip of plumbers, like 3 or 4 plumbers, and I'm the smallest guy. And what I need to do is I need to go into Steve's attic and connect these lines, that need to be connected, and I'm the smallest and lightest guy. But the whole time I'm saying, I just want somebody to grab some plywood, and throw a runway up there so I don't fall through the ceiling. And one guy is like, yes, get him a runway. And everybody else is saying, no, we don't have time for the runway. We're just going for it. Get up there. So I crawl up, and within 15 minutes, I fall through Steve's ceiling. And
That was hilarious.
yeah.
That's where we met.
Yeah, but you weren't really laughing at the moment.
I wasn't. It wasn't funny at the time. No.
Yeah, neither was I really.
Yeah,
It
we had to
wasn't-
rebuild that,
It wasn't very.
that ceiling, but
It wasn't very good. It
it's,
wasn't very
it's all good now, bro. All is forgiven.
I appreciate that. So that's how Steve and I originally met.
Yeah.
So there you go. Aside from the drum circuit. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back. We're going to talk about Steve and P.I.T. Institute.
Hi, I'm Glenn McWilliams.
And I'm Annie. As sixth-generation farmers, we understand what it takes to keep a ranch, a farm, and a community growing strong.
And that's why we started Premier Ag to bring quality feed, trusted Western wear, and real service to the Central Coast.
From hay delivery across the county to hands-on support for local youth and ag programs, we're proud to give back to the community that raised us.
And when we say from seed to stable, we mean it. We've walked the fields, we've fed the animals, and now we're here to serve families just like yours.
Come visit us at 1041 Paso Robles Street in Paso Robles and experience the difference of a store built by farmers for farmers.
From seed to store, where quality meets country.
Looking for a top quality concrete coating in SLO County? Hi, I'm Matt Gifford with MGP Coatings, your trusted local expert in durable, long-lasting concrete coatings backed by Pentec's limited lifetime warranty. Whether it's residential or commercial, we deliver expert craftsmanship, premium products, and unbeatable customer service. When we say we make concrete great again, we mean it. As a locally owned, community-driven company, we take pride in transforming garages, patios, pool decks, wineries, and even interior spaces into stunning, functional areas. Are you ready to upgrade your space? Give us a call at 805-952-5301. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or visit mattgiffordpainting.com. Join the MGP Coating family today.
Hey, we're back with Mr. Steve Hilstein. Steve, your music education took place early years, I'm sure, but you wound up going to P.I.T. there. Is that was in Hollywood?
Yeah. Well, before that, I took some drum lessons early on as a kid, and then as I got more serious about playing drums in my career, I took some drum lessons from a local guy. He lived in Los Osos. His name was Leon Taylor. He passed away a few years back, and he really taught me some great stuff. He was a really brilliant drummer, great drummer, Leon Taylor, and then. Eventually, I wanted to really further my education because I was taking it very seriously, and I went to P.I.T., which is the Percussion Institute of Technology,
Right.
part of
MIT.
Musicians
Music
Institute.
Right.
They have GIT, guitar, keyboards.
VIT.
I don't know what they're doing now, but
Yeah.
back then, I graduated there, and it was a year-long program. And I finished it up in 1985.
That was a hot time there.
Yeah, it was a great education, and it was hard to find a gig. You know who I wound up playing with? I played with Coco Montoya, the jazz guy. The blues guy.
I opened up for Coco Montoya.
Oh, really?
Opened up with Mean Gene Band.
No kidding.
And
where?
At the it was in Northern California at the Redwood Run.
No kidding.
Yeah, we played with Coco Montoya, and we played with.
Coco's a great guy.
Warrant was on that bill, and Night Ranger was on that bill.
Wow.
We played the same day. Warrant didn't play the same day we played, but we played. We played, then Coco Montoya played.
Yeah.
Then there was one other band, and then Night Ranger played.
Yeah,
And
Coco's cool. He's been
super
up here.
cool.
In fact, he just played the Blues Society gig a few months ago. I wasn't able to get there, but he did come up. Remember DK's?
West Indies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him there, and that was the first time I'd seen him since I had, played with him and 85. That was probably in the mid 90s by then. But anyway, but yeah, the LA scene, I kind of went down there thinking I'm going to be a studio musician. And, but in the meantime, I'm getting calls from all the cats up here saying, hey, we need a drummer for this. And I'd come down on the weekends and play sometimes, filling in and whatnot. And finally I got offered a gig at the Motel Inn with a band called the Mojo Doctors. And that was Gary Steinman, the great late Billy Fapiano,
Oh, right, yeah. What a shame.
and Willie Clairmont. And we did that gig for a year. That was fun. And that's kind of what brought me back to San Luis, which I'm really glad, back to this county. And
So that kind of hooked you in, got you like,
well,
I'm going to stick
well,
around.
you know what I realized was I was a small fish in a big pond in LA.
Right.
And when I moved back here, I was able to do everything I wanted to do as a musician. I got to do studio work, I got to play, I got to teach, and I was making a living playing and teaching.
Right.
And then eventually opened the drum shop. But yeah, I kind of went from there. And from one band to the other, I wound up getting a gig at the Old Port Inn. It started out as the Peer Pressure Band.
Peer.
With Frank
Right.
Paredes and Alex Kazanis. And then that kind of formed into the Bar Sharks. I always have to, the Bar Sharks, people will know what I'm talking about.
See, it's funny because when I was, what year was that? Early 90s or late 80s? When was that?
Yeah, that was early 90s.
Early 90s.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you guys all the time
Yeah, that was
in
fun.
the New Times.
That was a fun gig.
Like when I was in Devious, and we were playing Sweet Springs all the time. We would open up the New Times to see if our name was in there, and we would always see you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bar Sharks.
It was a very popular place. Sunday afternoons were just off the hook. It was really fun.
Right.
Yeah.
You had a few other bands too, right?
Just a few.
So the Bar Sharks, the Sneakers.
Yeah. Well, the Sneakers was before that.
Oh,
When I
okay.
first moved here in 1980, I moved up here to join a band. I auditioned for it in where I was living out of Huntington Beach at the time, and that was a band called Magic. And then after that, I played with it was kind of the end of the Brava Brothers, the Brava Band, and then we formed into the Sneakers. The Sneakers lasted for a few years, and I wound up after that. I was with
Bar Sharks. Or
no,
was-
that came later.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, this was still like in the early 80s,
Now, what genre of music was all of this?
Cover band stuff, pop songs.
Stuff that was on the radio.
R&B and yeah, songs people knew and
Could
loved
dance,
to.
to. Right.
Yeah.
Now, Oasis band.
Oh yeah. Well, that was like a cover band.
Who was all in that?
That was Ed.
Frawley?
No,
I don't know.
I'm spacing.
Oh, that's all
spacing
right.
out.
I do it all the time. I do it all the time. I can't remember half the people I've played with. So
Yeah.
Don't feel
And there were
bad.
some different members from time to time and stuff.
Yeah, and that was all, like you said, just cover bands. It's crazy how a lot of the venues around here, you can like sneak in some original stuff, but it's all just cover music.
Yeah.
Where like if you go down south, you can get away with playing more originals and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, you can always throw in some originals and stuff, but people in nightclubs, they want to hear songs that they
That they recognize.
Yeah,
It's crazy because I played a lot in New York
yeah,
and when I lived there.
that's probably a different situation.
It is.
People probably appreciated original music more, I would guess.
I think it's kind of like half and half.
Yeah,
Like they appreciate original music, but they also really love the covers.
well, LA's more like that too, because everybody's down there trying to make it.
Yeah, yeah. So
And you don't make it on doing other people's material. We were just having fun and making money and having a good time. Making people happy.
did you play Harry's a lot when you?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I always thought of Harry's like You ever seen, what was that movie? It's a movie about a bar. I forget the name of it right now, but anyways.
Cheers? Or something like that?
No, it was with Patrick Swayze, Roadhouse.
Oh, yeah.
And I always kind of, when I was younger, I always thought about Harry's like it was Roadhouse, and you were the, okay, so you're the band for the night, and no matter what happens, you just keep playing.
Yeah.
Fight breaks out, you just keep playing.
At least they didn't have a screen, to catch the glass from the beer bottles coming up.
Right.
One thing I have to say about Harry's is that's probably the longest running nightclub around here. Well,
definitely.
Well, there's the Merrymaker. Sweet Springs isn't even doing music anymore, are they? Are they doing live music?
I think they
I haven't
do
heard
it
anything.
every now and then.
Oh, okay.
But not like they used to.
Yeah.
Like Sweet Springs. Sweet Springs had some great acts.
Yeah. That was kind of a trippy little place. You have that stage with like the real narrow room, and it was
that was. I always used to say, too bad they couldn't move the freezer to one side so they could open up that bar and see the whole thing, because the room where the freezer's at blocks everybody's view.
Yeah.
But there was some. I think Robin Trower played there, and I think
they'd bring in some big names.
Yeah, Montrose played there.
Wow.
And Quiet Riot played there, but they played there under the band Heat.
Oh, no kidding.
And then Tommy Thayer, the guitar player for Kiss.
Oh, wow.
He played there. Him and Jamie St. James of Black and Blue. When they were Black and Blue, they also had a band called Cold Gin, which was a Kiss tribute. And they went there and played.
Do you remember the Shenandoah?
The Shenandoah in San Luis.
That was happening when I first moved here.
The Shenandoah, and then what was the Rose and Crown?
Oh, yeah.
Rose and Crown, yeah. Those were, and it's a shame because those, like, the only thing that's left in San Luis now that's anything like that, or that, still holds the test, is, what's the one there on Higuera Street where all the college kids go? Play it all the time. We're totally brain farting here.
South Higuera?
Everybody plays it. It's right there on Higuera.
Boy, I don't know.
I'm totally forgetting
I'm out
the
of
name
touch
of it.
with
Sorry,
the
you
San
guys,
Luis
I can't even remember the name of it right now. But anyways, it's a shame that there's not that many, great places.
In San Luis, they've come and go so much over the years.
I don't know why that is.
Yeah. And then remember on top of the hill where KSBY is now.
Yeah. What was that?
Well, it was originally Breakers, but that was before I moved here.
Right.
And it had just become Yancey's. Yancey McFadden's, I believe it was. And then it became the Spirit. And my friend Wally Barnick managed that. He brought in a lot of great entertainment.
Super great.
I got to meet Buddy Rich there.
Really?
That was a highlight in my life. You know what I did? It's kind of a funny story. I was just so enamored of Buddy Rich playing there. I went by early in the day. I thought, if I go by early in the day, maybe I'll get a chance to meet him. So I go back there in the parking lot, and there's his bus. This is Buddy Rich on the side of it, I think, or something. And where it says the destination,
right?
It said, "What it is." I'll never forget that. So I go out and I knock on the door of the bus. And I go, hey, the guy comes up to the door. And I go, hey, I'm a local drummer, and I'm a Buddy Rich fan. It's like, is Buddy around? I'd really love to meet him. And he kind of looks at me like, all right, hang on, let me check. So he goes, I guess he goes and asks Buddy. It's just him and Buddy on the bus.
Really?
And Buddy probably says, all right, let the kid in, or something like that. So I go in, and there's Buddy Rich sitting there, and I got to meet him. I took a picture of him, and he signed my Buddy Rich Rudiments book and everything.
Oh, nice. You took your book with you?
Yeah, I still have it.
Good for you.
I should have brought it with me. And and then I went back later that night, and oh my God, this was about a year and a half before he passed away. He was 67 years old. I'm a little older than that now, but he walked in with a cane, and he'd had multiple heart attacks and everything. And he walked in, and he just kicked butt.
Really?
I mean, I've never seen a drummer play with such intensity. it blew me away. I mean, I was walking around stunned for like 2 weeks after that. It changed my life, man.
Wow. Sometimes
Yeah.
when I see people, especially singers like that, I'm driving home at night and I'm thinking, I should just give it up.
Nah, never.
Yeah. Hey, we're
Never
going to
give
take a
up.
quick break. We'll be right back.
My name is Jennifer Borhone Wescombe.
And I'm Haley Wescombe from Borhone Auto Center. Borhone Auto Center is a family-owned and operated GMC dealership. We are your go-to dealership for quality vehicles. With a vast inventory and personalized service, we are here to make your purchase seamless.
Whether it's a luxurious Yukon or a rugged Sierra, we have the perfect ride for you. Come see us today to experience the Borhone family difference. We are located on the corner of Highway 46 East and Golden Hill Road in Paso Robles.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
Hey, what's up, North County? Hey, we're here with Steve Hilstein. And Steve, around 2008, you started the Bucket Busters and the Music Motive?
Oh yeah. You know, the Bucket Busters came out of. I was playing drums at this church, a New Life Community Church in Pismo. I played drums there in the worship band for 20 years, and during that time, the worship leader wanted me to do like a bucket drumming thing for Easter or something, and so I put this whole thing together, and it kind of, you know, after that, people kept asking me like, "Hey, when are you going to do this bucket drumming thing again?" And it just kept on happening. And it was sort of in the back of my mind. Well, by the time I sold the drum circuit, and I just had a drum school at that point, Drum School 101, and then later Music Motive kind of went in, kind of morphed into that.
Right.
I kind of had it in the back of my mind to start this bucket drumming group, and we called ourselves the Bucket Busters because we had, during that first performance, we had broken a bucket, and that's how we came up with the name.
Oh, okay.
And so I kind of threw it out there and got a couple kids on board to do it. And I was just really questioning, is this thing going to fly or not, you know? And I remember driving home after that a little discouraged. And on my way home, I stopped by this garage sale, and I walked in there. And the lady recognized me from doing that first bucket drumming thing. And she said, "Aren't you the guy that did that bucket drumming thing at New Life Community Church?" This was like years later.
Right.
And for me, that was like confirmation, like this is something I need to do.
Right.
So we formed this group of kids, basically, and we played on buckets and trash cans and water bottles, and we did performances all over the county.
I saw a few of them.
Yeah, and we would do all the parades. I bought a flatbed trailer, and we would do all the parades.
I saw you a few times at Thursday nights.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah.
But it was so rewarding too, because it's like a mentorship. The program lasted about 10 years, and we saw these kids kind of come and go. And
I bet you made some great drummers out of that.
there are some great drummers. There's some really good drummers.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They're all like in their 20s now. Some of them are married and with kids, and but that was probably, I'd have to say that was probably the most meaningful time in my career teaching and stuff, you know. And we did bucket drumming classes throughout the counties and schools too. That was a whole nother program. I was just nonstop. But anyway, it was a great
Well,
time.
that's actually, I got to say, that is an excellent idea of you to do. You know, like that whole thing, like ingenious, really.
Well,
and you know, it's crazy because
it didn't come from me. It came from above.
Well, there's you can go to New York and see people playing those buckets all over the city, and they're
Well, and that's one of the guys that inspired me. He was on. There was one guy in particular who was on this Buddy Rich, what are they called, tribute band video, and I wound up going to New York, and I ran into that kid. He was there.
Right.
And I just remember when I first saw that, I see this guy playing on a bucket, and it was like poetry. And I remember watching this on the TV, and I was standing in the middle of my drum shop, surrounded by drums and cymbals and all these expensive things. And this guy's just killing it on a bucket. And I just had goosebumps. I just like went, man, that is just so beautiful.
Right.
This kid's just making music.
Simplistic. Yeah, that's crazy.
And that really inspired me.
Wow. Well, you inspired a lot of great drummers, I guarantee it. So your recent local bands, now you're still doing the Mojo Combo.
Yeah, the Mojo Combo is one of the bands. I mentioned Garden Party.
Right.
And
the Chris Kieth Band, and now
I've been with Garden Party for about 12 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Now
the Mojo Combo.
My good friend Ross Custer.
Oh yeah.
Who I also who I play with.
Right, he's our bass player.
He's in my country band.
And Rob Espinoza.
Right, Rob.
And Danny Grisecci. That's the Garden Party band.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
And then Mojo Combo, I've been in for a little over a year now, and that's with Dudley Gimple.
Right.
And my old bro, my dear friend Frank Paredes on bass.
Right.
Who was originally from the Bar Sharks and the Peer Pressure Band and the Sneakers, and we go back a long time. We've been playing together off and on for about 45 years.
That's great.
And we're known as the Predatory Rhythm Section, and then Deborah Winsong plays harmonica.
Oh, okay.
And my good buddy Rick Beaumont on the keys.
Yeah, I think I might have spoke to Rick once about trying to get him to play with me.
Rick is a great
Yeah, he
player.
said he was way too busy, but somebody had given me his name and said, "Oh, get a hold of that guy."
What's that?
I said, somebody had reached out to me. I said, "I'm looking for a keyboard player," and somebody reached out to me and said, "Get a hold of that guy." Yeah,
He's
but when I
really
got a
good.
hold of him, he's like, "I would love to." He goes, "But I'm just too busy."
Yeah, I love playing with that guy.
And then Dudley, I had a chance to play with him
Dudley's
with
good.
with Steve and them doing the benefit concert for the disabled veterans. So,
and then there's the Chris Kieth Band,
Yeah.
which we started about 5 years ago, and in a church worship band situation, and it kind of developed. Chris has recorded multiple albums in Nashville, and writes great songs, and his songs are just so inspiring. And Frank plays with that group too, Frank Paredes, and he's known as Frankie. I know him as Frank, and that's Chris Kieth and Jesse, his son, and the four of us. We play at the Baywood Community Church in Los Osos on the first Saturday of every month.
Oh, okay.
And we do a concert thing there.
Cool. I think I've seen that online.
Yeah, they advertise.
So, are there any shows or anything you'd like to promote before we take off?
We're just kind of getting ready for this next season. We're going to be with all these bands. We're going to be out and about. Garden Party, the Mojo Combo. We'll be out in the community, doing wineries and gigs, and we play the Siren now and then, and but mostly like wineries and community concerts, that kind of thing.
All right, cool.
And the Chris Kieth Band is doing the once a month concerts in Baywood, Los Osos.
Sweet. Well, I cannot thank you enough for coming in here.
Hey, man.
You've been
This has been fun.
Awesome interview, and I really appreciate it. I'm so glad that I reached out to you, gave you a call.
Hey, bro, it's been my pleasure.
Yeah, mine
Thank
too.
you. Thank you for asking.
Yeah,
me.
you betcha.
So
yeah.
great hanging out
I think
with
that
you,
you've
Kelly.
done so much for the music community over the years.
You know, the music community has done so much for me. You know, between the kids and the customers, and I am blessed because of this. Sorry, I was knocking my microphone.
Well, I think
I'm blessed. I am blessed to be in this part of this community.
I think the community is blessed for all the amazing musicians that we have here. It's
Amen.
Since I was a kid till now, the musicianship and the quality of musicians has just grown, and it's a beautiful, and it's great because we all work together.
It's a wonderful community.
Yeah,
There's a
totally.
lot of encouragement amongst everyone, especially drummers.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. We want to thank all of our sponsors. I don't know if they're going to come up on the screen, but we want to thank all of our sponsors tonight. There they are. Without them, this is not possible whatsoever. So if you need anything from any of these sponsors, you can check it out right here and go to them, and they will take care of you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. I got David Chalk coming in next. All right, see you.
When it comes to comfort, trust the team that's been keeping the North County homes cozy since 1995. At Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning, they're your hometown pros right here in Templeton. From tune-ups to repairs, remodels to new construction, even duct replacements and attic ventilation, they got you covered. Call your neighbors at 805-434-3741. Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning. Local, trusted, dependable.
Hi, I'm Glenn McWilliams.
And I'm Annie. As sixth-generation farmers, we understand what it takes to keep a ranch, a farm, and a community growing strong.
And that's why we started Premier Ag to bring quality feed, trusted Western wear, and real service to the Central Coast.
From hay delivery across the county to hands-on support for local youth and ag programs, we're proud to give back to the community that raised us.
And when we say from seed to stable, we mean it. We've walked the fields, we've fed the animals, and now we're here to serve families just like yours.
Come visit us at 1041 Paso Robles Street in Paso Robles and experience the difference of a store built by farmers for farmers.
From seed to store, where quality meets country.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Looking for a top quality concrete coating in SLO County? Hi, I'm Matt Gifford with MGP Coatings, your trusted local expert in durable, long-lasting concrete coatings backed by Pentec's limited lifetime warranty. Whether it's residential or commercial, we deliver expert craftsmanship, premium products, and unbeatable customer service. When we say we make concrete great again, we mean it. As a locally owned, community-driven company, we take pride in transforming garages, patios, pool decks, wineries, and even interior spaces into stunning, functional areas. Are you ready to upgrade your space? Give us a call at 805-952-5301. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or visit mattgiffordpainting.com. Join the MGP Coating family today.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We are all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.